You're listening to the Save the Date podcast, where we talk all things weddings, jewellery and romance. With love from Cullen Jewellery.
Hello and welcome back to the Save the Date podcast. I'm Sheridan.
And I'm Juliette, and we are so happy you're here.
This week we wanted to do something a little bit different, so we have decided to share some of our favourite wedding or proposal horror stories. So we've gotten these from the Reddit page, Am I the A-Hole? Mm-hmm. And I have chosen some, and Juliette has no idea what I've picked, and Juliette has chosen some, and I have no idea what she's picked. And we're just going to have some fun with it. Decide if the person writing the story is in the wrong, if they're right, or if they are in fact the a-hole.
Okay. I'm actually excited to hear what you go. Okay, do you want me to go first, or are you going first?
You can go first.
Okay.
Oh my God, I'm a bit scared.
This is my first one. Okay. So I, 29-year-old male, work overnights unloading supply trucks for a major hardware retailer in the US. My co-worker John, 25 male, and his girlfriend Nancy, 26 female, fake names, have been with the company for about 3 years now. John works overnight with me, and his girlfriend works a morning shift with the manager. They often see each other as we're leaving and she's coming in. I have become good friends with both of them and even hang out with them outside of work, playing video games and going to Topgolf. Nancy has never been one for excessive makeup or jewellery and has stated on more than one occasion she prefers simple earrings and lipstick as her go-to. John told me last week that he has plans on proposing to Nancy this upcoming weekend on her birthday and showed me a picture of the custom engagement ring he ordered. It's their birthstones, garnet and emerald, inside of an infinity symbol. It's super adorable. Now, the issue is John was off work last night. As I was leaving at 5:30 a.m, I passed by Nancy, who had her phone to her face, and I caught a glimpse of the ring on her finger that bore a resemblance to the one John had showed me and made the compliment that looks like he couldn't wait to pop the question.
Oh, no.
And laughed a bit. She put her phone down and kind of looked around for a second before replying, popped a question to me in a confused tone. I kind of stared at her for a second before looking at the ring again and realised it had only her birthstone and wasn't the one John showed me.
Oh, no.
I tried to backtrack and she pushed back asking who popped the question. I kind of rushed out of the building without replying and hoped she'd forget about it. Well, she must have put something together in her head because an hour later I got a call from John who yelled at me, accusing me of ruining the proposal.
I love how he goes, she must have put something together as if like she's not going to know. As soon as you go, oh, he popped the question, she's not going to be like, oh my God, no. He's popping the question?
Yeah. I tried to explain that I had never seen her wear a ring in the 3 years I've known them, and suddenly she had one on her finger that bore a resemblance to the one he had showed me at a glance. And he wasn't having it. I feel terrible about opening my mouth, and I'm scared to go to work tonight because John will be there and I'm sure he'll be upset with me. So, AITA for accidentally revealing my co-worker's plan to propose to his girlfriend.
Oh my gosh. That's like a really tricky one.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously, yes, unintentional.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I had a quick look through what the comments were on this post. And a lot of people seem to be agreeing that even though it was unintentional and he didn't mean to do it, when it comes to stuff like that, just let people tell you.
Yeah, he definitely should not have asked.
Yeah. It's kind of like if like pregnancy, same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Don't ever assume, don't ask. You let people tell you that sort of stuff just in case.
Yeah, I feel like he definitely could have just like messaged his mate and been like, oh my God, did you ask her already? Mm-hmm. And then literally this whole thing could have been avoided. But now like she fully knows that he's like planning to propose.
Yeah.
Which just like, ruins the surprise a lot. And also she kind of knows like what the ring is going to probably look like a bit.
Exactly, as well. So yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, I feel like this one is one of those things where he's like just
it wasn't
a hard
intentional.
lesson learned.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't call him an a-hole, but a very painful lesson. Yeah. If they're not friends with you anymore, I understand.
Yeah. What did like everyone else say? Did they say he is the a-hole or he's not?
Oh, yeah, no a-hole here. That was the official
Yeah,
the official ruling.
Yeah, I get that, but also I would have hated if someone ruined my
I know.
proposal.
Yeah, especially for just something so silly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, lesson learned. Don't offer information. Let it come to you when it's something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So, my fiance, 31 male, and I, 25 male, are getting married soon. There wasn't much that we disagreed on during the wedding planning except for food. Me and my family are vegans, and there are so many reasons why we chose this lifestyle, with one of them being that we have a history of health issues. My fiancé and his family are the complete opposite. They're hardcore meat eaters, which is fine by me, obviously. However, when deciding on the wedding food menu, I wanted to add 4 to 5 vegan options. My fiancé and his mum objected, saying it was a waste of money over food that, quote, isn't real food.
Okay. Uh-huh.
They also argued that this would be offensive for their guests and suggested my vegan options just be the good old salads and appetizers. In brackets, his mum wanted cupcakes, lol.
Oh. Okay.
Cupcakes for the vegans.
Yeah.
I said no because, for one, it's me and my family who's paying, and 2, I want to make my guests feel welcome and not be treated as second-class citizens by being served salad.
Yeah.
My fiancé made a face and said, "Isn't that what vegans eat?"
Oh.
I refused to argue about it and said it was final, which is so fair. Okay. The other day, I found out that he had cancelled all the vegan options and took them off the menu completely and behind my back. I was seething. I called him at work, but he kept hanging up on me. I went straight to his workplace and confronted him there and just flipped out on him. He was stunned to see me. He at first said it was his mum's idea and then told me to go home because I was making a scene at the office. The fight continued at home, and he defended himself by saying that I sort of made him resort to doing this after I kept brushing off his thoughts and input and refusing to accommodate his family. Uh-huh. But there were plenty of meat options. Why can't I get 4 to 5 vegan options when I'm paying for it? He yelled that it was his wedding too, not my family's. My family said it was fine and they'll figure it out and told me to let it go, but I refused. Am I the a-hole for putting my foot down on this?
Absolutely not.
No. There is an update, which we'll get to in a second.
That is, first of all, sorry, big red flag.
Right?
Get out of there. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's just basic. Like, that goes beyond, like, wanting to different things for your wedding. Like, that's just basic respect from your partner that isn't here. I feel bad for her.
I know.
Absolutely, she is not in the wrong.
Here's one thing. I don't think that it's necessarily appropriate for her to, like, go and make a scene at his workplace.
Yeah, that's probably
so that's like the one thing that I'm like, you're a little bit of an a-hole for doing that.
Yeah.
But, like,
her feelings are valid.
Her feelings are so valid.
Yeah.
I just think, like, maybe, not in the workplace.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's very, unprofessional to go do that at someone's workplace. And, you don't need to involve a personal issue at work.
Yeah.
But
he's just, like, not at all respecting her or her family.
Yeah, no. Or just even trying to compromise. Like, it's just rude, and I wouldn't be marrying someone like that.
Yeah, a lot of, like, the comments on this were like, please don't marry this man. Yeah. Like, these are major red flags.
Yeah.
And, like, also, this comment in particular, it says, so he, 1, has no clue what vegans actually eat and no interest in learning. 2, he believes having food for your family is offensive to theirs, while having no food for your family is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Doesn't respect your input and your money. Facts. Makes decisions about important matters behind your back, and either can't stand up to his mum or uses her as a scapegoat.
Major red flag.
Like,
oh gosh. Does it have an update? Did they get married?
So,
is there an update?
There is an update, but I don't know
if they ended up getting married.
If they, like, end up getting married.
Yeah.
But the update is, so his mum messaged me earlier to try and get me to listen to what she had to say after I kept ignoring her phone calls. She sent long walls of text just to address what I did at her son's workplace, calling it all kinds of stuff from immature to unhinged, which I kind of agree.
Yeah.
And then it says, she then went to explain how she's noticed that me and my family kept acting dismissive of her son's input and contributions to the wedding. She said that she noticed my behaviour towards him and her entire family and wanted to speak up earlier but didn't and tried to keep the peace. She then went on to address the food menu issue and denied her involvement in the cancellation of the vegan option. But that didn't mean she doesn't support her son's decision. So the guy has literally just gone, oh, it's mum, it's not me.
Yeah.
Which is like, just take ownership for it. Moreover, she thought it was so responsible of him to make that move because of my continual refusal to see how this stuff is a waste of money. She also pointed out how I kept saying I paid for it and said that technically this isn't just my money, it's mine and his because we're getting married. She suggested I wisen up and get rid of my money, I paid for it mentality.
Oh. Get out of there.
Right.
Immediately.
Right? Can you imagine? Like,
I could not. I could never.
Yeah.
That would. I'd actually like move countries and like block them.
Literally.
Oh my God. If that is happening before the wedding.
Think about after the wedding.
Yeah. And
like
everything else. Like, do you actually want to be dealing with that your entire life? No, thank you.
Okay. She finally mentioned how bad this whole situation is making me look and said that she and her son had already offered a number of compromises that I chose to brush off and decided to make it my weird hill to die on. The compromise was salad. The salad and appetizers and cupcakes were the compromises.
Oh my God.
She said that not only is her son upset, but she and the family are as well after hearing about it and suggested I just agree on their compromise and be done with it. This pissed me off beyond belief. I responded by letting her know that I'm still standing my ground on this, and even if I'll have to call off the whole wedding because of it, because honestly, this is just ridiculous. My mum and dad, they don't even know what to say anymore. Apparently, my fiancé saw my response to her, he's with the mum, and is now trying to call me, but right now I'm waiting on him to get home and see if he's still insisting on the stance he took.
Damn. Oh God, I really hope for her sake she did not go through with
the
oh
wedding.
My God.
Yeah.
Poor thing. That would be horrible.
Actually, it kind of sounds like maybe she did call off the wedding.
Oh, okay. I hope so.
There's just one comment that she's made that says, I'm so thankful this happened. It helped me see things clearer.
Oh, okay.
Which and also don't even get me started on ex-future mother-in-law.
Oh, okay.
So sounds like
she did.
Hopefully she did in fact call off the wedding because
I'm very glad to hear that.
Yeah.
People.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, I found the update.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's really long, but basically I gave him back the ring and called everything off.
Good.
I just couldn't envision myself living like this any longer, having to walk on eggshells for his family and letting them basically override my opinions and have the final say no matter what.
Yes. Do not let them gaslight you into thinking you're the issue.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Intense.
Okay. Intense. Okay. Okay, so AITA for faking a wedding proposal to my girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
I, 32 male, and my girlfriend, female, 24, have been together for a couple years. We have been talking more seriously about marrying each other lately, but I'm not keen on doing it, whereas she's really keen.
Okay.
We are a goofy couple and I'm quite laid back guy. So whenever the topic of marriage came up, even when we started dating, I used to say stuff like, yeah, I'd probably end up proposing to you with a gummy ring. I was obviously joking, especially because I wasn't thinking about proposing at the time and we always got a laugh out of it. So the other day, I thought about making a little prank on her.
Oh, no.
And to fake a proposal with a gummy ring.
No.
I just thought she would have laughed at it and thought of it as such a goofy thing to do. Nobody would believe it to be true. So I invited her to have dinner in a fancy place. She even asked me, what's the occasion, with a weird smile on her face. And while faking to be embarrassed, like I had been caught in a lie, I just said, nothing, just want to have a nice meal. Lol. Anyway, I dressed up in a nice suit, and after we ate, I brought her to her favourite spot up on a hill. She was basically smiling ear to ear and like she never had at this point. So after some chat, I said, I have to tell you something, and I kneeled down. When she saw the gummy ring, she laughed, but she was still smiling, and she hugged me and kept repeating, yes, yes, yes.
Oh,
so I said,
goodness.
Wait, let me ask you another question at least. And she pulled back and I asked, love, do you know this is a joke? When I explained to her that the proposal was a joke, at first she didn't believe it. Then she went silent for a bit and then she started crying. I said that she was a little bit overreacting, in my opinion. I still believe this, as I'm a rational man. And she just kept crying. After a while, I told her that, okay, maybe it was understandable for her to be a bit emotional, but it was already half an hour and we were there.
Like she'd been crying for half an hour?
Yeah, I think. But it was
Valid.
already half an hour. We were there and I just wanted to go home.
Oh, like they'd been at the lookout or whatever.
At the spot for half an hour.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my
She didn't
gosh.
say anything, got up, started walking away in the wrong direction from her car.
Fair.
Her house is at least 25 minutes of walking, so I thought she was faking it and she would just come back, but she didn't. So I figured she got there. I'm guessing she got home.
You're not calling her, chasing after her, you know.
Now she doesn't answer my texts, but apparently she told everything to her family. Immature behaviour, in my opinion. Just a joke. Which in turn told everyone everything to mine. Am I really the a-hole here?
Yes. What? I can't believe he's saying she's immature.
I know.
But also, like, I'm sorry, he went to so much effort.
I know. If it was just like on the couch at home being like, haha, Mary, that's a joke. And that's where like someone could very clearly see that it wasn't serious.
Yeah.
But he's literally gone to the effort of setting up a full kind of date night.
Fully planning a proposal.
As if he was proposing.
I would be livid.
Mm-hmm.
I would have done the same thing, walked out and just probably never replied to him again.
Yep, literally.
Did it say he was like a 32-year-old man?
Yes.
I'm sorry, but sir, you are too old.
Literally, like
for
one of the
this.
top comments is, I played a dumb prank that couldn't have resulted in any other way, but she's immature for telling her family. But it's okay that I told mine.
Oh my goodness. That's awful.
Yeah,
that's brutal.
It's just cruel to do that to someone. Like that's like beyond an a-hole. That's just
literally
mean and horrible.
Yeah, that's just like being a horrible person.
Yeah.
That like and also of course she's gonna like believe it when you're giving her like the gummy ring or whatever it was. Because like that is the kind of thing you joke about. Like with your partner when you like want to get engaged. You're like, oh, I would say yes to like,
and if it's an existing joke you've joked about. And, like, it would kind of be a cute thing to do that.
Yeah.
To, like, actually propose with a gummy ring. And after you've planned this really beautiful evening. Like, in what universe would someone think that's a prank?
Right. I don't get that. I do not understand how he ever thought that was going to come across as a prank.
Yeah.
Like you said, if it had have been, like, they were on the couch laying down and he grabbed, like, but even then I reckon she would still have the right to get upset.
Yes.
I feel like the only time possible that it would be like an obvious joke is if they're at the store together and he buys a gummy ring and he's like, haha, will you marry me?
Yeah.
Then it's like, clearly that it's a joke.
Yeah.
But like, I even really dislike when guys like fake propose all the time.
Yes.
Like, they're somewhere and then they like pretend to get down on one knee. I always told my like husband when we were dating, I was like, don't you ever pretend that you're going to propose to me. I was like, that is just not
just mean.
On.
And
it's so mean.
It's like, pick another prank.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of, the part that really gets me is thinking that she's the immature one and that he's like, saying that she's the immature behaviour for like telling her family and making a big deal of his quote, joke.
I feel like, of course, she's going to tell her family. Like, if she's going home to them, like, obviously she's going to be upset and they're going to be like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
You're going to tell your family that
happened?
This has happened, that your boyfriend is a terrible guy and you never want to speak to him again.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a valid response to go and tell your family what's just happened.
And I hope in this situation as well, she left him.
Yeah.
And she's not still with this man.
Like,
red flag.
Surely. Also, I feel like the fact that he just said, like, I assume she got home.
Yeah.
Like, why are you not, like, running after her?
Literally.
And, like, getting annoyed that, like, you've been at this place for like, half an hour too long. Like, you majorly stuffed up.
Yeah.
Take some accountability.
Red flag. Major red flag.
Yeah. No wonder he's posting this on, like, a fake profile.
Yeah, literally. Good.
Because, like,
otherwise you'd have a lot of people coming for you.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's awful.
I know. That was just,
that is terrible. I'm assuming everyone on there agrees that he's also an awful human being.
Yes, definitely.
Oh dear. That one hurt a little bit.
I know. That's so sad. Okay.
I really feel for her.
Okay.
All right. I am 27. I, 27 female, and my fiance, 33 male. We've been dating for about 4 years now and got engaged last year. Prior to us dating, my fiance dated his childhood best friend, Liz, for 8 years. They were briefly engaged before calling it off. From what I was told, they decided to break it off because they were getting married for the wrong reasons. They were planning to get married because it was the next step, and that since their families were best friends, he needed to marry her. After they broke off the engagement, they remained friends. Since the beginning of our relationship, I knew Liz was in my fiance's family's lives. Liz and my fiance's mum are best friends. Liz is also best friends with his younger sister, so like very heavily involved with the family. My fiance and her are friends with the same social circle. I don't have a problem with Liz and her friendship with my fiance. I actually like her as a person and would consider her a friend. However, there are times when we hang out that I feel a little left out, like I'm the third wheel, because of their inside jokes and shared childhood stories.
Okay.
I have always tried to be open-minded about their friendship since he assured me that they are only friends, and I do trust both of them. For starters, I feel like that's so mature. Like that's such a hard thing to like
to deal with.
Yeah. Be trusting and like friendly with your partner's ex.
Yeah.
So, okay, my fiance and I are finalising our wedding party now, and since both of us have best friends who are the opposite sex, we agreed that it's okay to have the opposite sex in our own wedding party. I told him who I wanted to ask to be in my wedding party, and he mentioned that it would mean a lot to him to have his sister be a part of my wedding party. Mm-hmm. I get along with his sister well enough, so I agreed to include her. When he listed his wedding party, he mentioned Liz. I was taken back and I told him that I wasn't comfortable with having her be in the wedding party. I told him I'm more than happy to have her attend the ceremony and reception, that she can sit with his family and be in all of the family pictures, which I think is a good compromise. However, that wasn't good enough for him. He said that it's his wedding party and that it was his decision who's going to be in it. That I have the right to choose my own wedding party, so he should be able to choose whoever he likes. I told him that's not fair because I'm not having my high school sweetheart in my wedding party. This is becoming a huge fight between us. He said he's putting his foot down and Liz is going to be in his wedding party. I told him that I will not budge out of this. Out of anger, I told him to choose, me or her. If she's in the wedding party, then I won't be standing at the altar. He responded by telling me that I was acting crazy and that he's going to stay with his brother until I calm down and be reasonable. It's been 3 days now. He has texted me twice since the fight. First time to ask me if I've calmed down and am ready to be reasonable. The second to ask me if I have agreed with his party list. I told him my answer was still no and that I don't know if I can let this one go. Am I the a-hole or should I just let it go?
Pull the old "you're crazy" card.
Yeah. Also, I feel like he's chosen.
Yeah.
He left.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, it's just... Because, yeah, she's been very mature about the whole situation, very reasonable, even, being so accommodating for her when it's a situation that would be kind of hard to deal with, always kind of having it in the back of your mind.
Especially, like, her being, like, the ex being so close with his family. It's like... You want to get along with your partner's family. You don't want to be kind of feel like you're competing with one of their exes for like the attention.
Yeah. I don't think she's in the wrong.
No.
I think it's reasonable. And like, she wasn't saying she can't come. Like, I think it's a good compromise for her to still attend. Yeah. Which is more
and
than
also,
generous.
Not even just attend, but she's saying like she can sit with your family. She can be in the family pictures. Like that's permanent. Yes. Being in the family pictures is like, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. For her to say like, that's fine, I just don't want her in the wedding party is, so reasonable. Yeah.
And the fact that he's so just like, no, and doesn't even want to like open the conversation of her feelings and why it bothers her, like that to me is a red flag. Yeah. And the fact that he also left and was texting her, acting like she's the one who's crazy. Like, that's so infuriating. Yeah. That you're being called crazy when it's just like you're not even hearing my feelings. Yeah. Sort of situation.
Yeah, like your feelings are always valid. Like, you should never have someone telling you that you're acting crazy because of the way that you're feeling. Yeah. And also... he's forcing, like, not forcing, she's willing to do it, but, like, he's telling her, you have to have my sister in, like, your wedding party. Yeah. But if he's so, like, fixated on the fact that she has a guy in her wedding party, so he needs to have a girl in his, why does he not have his sister?
Yeah. Oh, true.
Where, like, he's forcing her to have his sister on her side when, like, he could just have the sister.
True. I didn't think about that.
Which is just like, that was one of the comments that I saw. Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, that is just, so. Yeah.
Is there an update or something? Was there anything else? What's the general consensus?
Yeah, not the a-hole.
She's not, but he is.
He definitely is.
Yeah. I feel so bad for these people.
I know. Oh. All of the, like, comments from people are saying that, like, he should be... you know, validating your feelings and your feelings are valid and you are being so reasonable. Like he could literally have a girlfriend that is like, absolutely not, you need to cut this person off. Yeah. Like I'm not willing to be with you if you're going to be friends with your ex. Yeah. But she's like being the bigger person and saying like, I'm so happy for you to be friends with her. Like I get along fine with her. She's trying to get along with this person as well. But yeah, it's a tricky one because I feel like...
doesn't change his straps.
Yeah. So true.
Actually, no, spots, not straps.
Yeah.
A leopard doesn't change its spots.
Yeah.
When it comes to like that is like someone's personality.
Yeah.
When they're just ignoring your feelings.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't just magically learn that. Or maybe you do at an old age, but normally it's deep-rooted.
Poor thing.
I know. Hopefully she... maybe is not with him anymore.
Yeah. It said putting it off until 2025, so who knows?
Hopefully they can, or maybe some therapy for him, not you. Okay, this one's funny. Okay. One of my hobbies is to go hiking and eat a very large meal while sitting down. Basically a big picnic for myself.
Okay.
I bring a blanket and anything else I might need for an hour-long experience.
That's kind of cute, actually.
Yeah. This past Monday, I was up at a new area I had never been to. I brought my large meal with me and set up on a very gorgeous area with a great view of the lake. Okay. I was about 5 minutes into my ritual when this guy came up with a camera and comes and tells me that a couple is on their way coming up to do a proposal on this very spot and asked me to move. I told him no, that I barely got set up and I was in the middle of my meal. He gets annoyed and just asks again, but I tell him no. A few minutes later, the photographer returns with the guy who was going to propose. The guy proposing asks me this time, and I just tell him no, that he can wait.
He can wait.
He asks me, WTF is wrong with me? And I tell him that I am eating my meal. He starts telling me to get the F out, but I put on my headphones and just continue eating. After a while, he leaves me alone. After I felt satisfied from the meal, I packed up and was heading down. The three were waiting at another spot, and the man pointed me out, and the lady starts yelling at me that I ruined her day and that her proposal happened elsewhere instead of the spot I was in. I just smiled and said, "Congrats on your proposal," and kept walking. When I got back home, this came up and I told my boyfriend about it. He straight up said it was an a-hole thing to do. Am I the a-hole? The first comment is, I'm picturing them pulling out an entire roast turkey with the trimmings and all of this happening while they're cheerfully munching on a leg.
Oh my God. That's fully what I had in mind too. That is so funny. You know what? I love this for them. I love that they are like an independent person. They have their me time. Yep. But I do think they probably could have been easier to deal with.
Yeah.
But in saying that, like,
it's a public setting.
Public place.
The couple who was proposing do not own that spot. No. And honestly, it's too bad. If someone, I mean, obviously, yes, this person could have been a little more accommodating and moved and whatnot. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's a public spot. And if it's not available, tough luck. Yeah. You know, you can't, that's how it is. You also, can't book a public location.
You just can't. That honestly is so funny. But like also, I'm sure that it's not such a small place that like you can't just walk 3 meters in the other direction. Like
literally all the comments are just like, I'm reading this comment section and giggling. Like I can't get the image out of my head now. Of this person eating an entire meal.
Oh my gosh. The meal, does that say the meal thing? It sounded very AI to me. Oh my gosh. That's another like tough one. There's no like that's definitely very like opinion based, like right or wrong. Because they're not doing anything wrong by being in a public place. Yeah. Like I said before, I'm sure there is space there that like the guy could have just walked 5 meters along and like proposed, and their photographer could have got photos of them without this person with their full-on
meal
in the background. Yeah. But like, I feel like if I was them, like it kind of depends. Like if they're saying you need to get out of here, then like that's so valid. Yeah. To be like, no. Yeah. This is a public place. Like I'm allowed to be here just because you want to propose here. Yeah. It has nothing to do with me. Yeah. But if they're like, can you just move like from here to like over there? Yeah. Like just move the stuff. Yeah. Like,
I mean, according to online, they've labelled this person as yes, they are. A-hole. Yeah. Which, I suppose, I kind of see both sides of the story. I don't know what I'd label this person as. Yeah. Because, I mean, it's
just one of those things. Like
they could have been nice and moved, but at the same time, as when it's a public space, no one's obligated to accommodate their stuff or move their stuff to accommodate you.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
So funny.
All right. This next one that I have is pretty long. Mm-hmm. So I have the full story and then I have like a full-on update. Mm-hmm. Okay. So my 27 female best friend has been dating her boyfriend, 26 male, for over 5 years. A while back, he reached out to me to help figure out ring size and the setup so he could make this the most magical day for her to propose. Having known my friend for over 20 plus years, I know exactly how she wants her proposal to go and who she wants to be there. So I relayed all this information to him months ago via texts and over the phone. I even took the time to covertly find and confirm which ring she would love the most. A little background. My friend is incredibly family and friend oriented, and in the past expressed to me on multiple occasions, especially during the holiday season, that in the 5 years they've been together, he hasn't really made much of an effort to indoctrinate himself into her family or friendships the way she has for his. While I do generally like him, I have always felt that he's incredibly self-serving and self-focused. Red flags.
Straight up.
Yeah. Recently, through a mutual friend, I found out he started a group text between his, emphasis on his, friends and his family to set up the time and date of the proposal. He has not only excluded myself, and according to the screenshots I've seen, he is doing everything verbatim I suggested he do, but he has completely excluded her family and other close friends from the event. He's planning on having only his boys and family present for the occasion, and knowing my friend, this would ultimately break her heart not being able to share this moment with her loved ones. I got heated and called him. At first, he was dodging my questions, then just outright said, "This is my proposal and I've spent enough time and money to choose how I do it. Just be happy for your friend. It's not like you're not coming to the wedding." This infuriated me, and to make matters worse, I ran into her mum and dad at the grocery store and subtly asked if they knew of any possibility she was getting engaged. They were unaware, and I know for a fact my friend has told him that he needs to ask her parents for their blessing. In brackets, she's somewhat traditional. My friend wears her heart on her sleeve, and I can predict how this event will go down when she sees all of his close friends and family and none of hers. Considering her previous sentiments about his lack of interest in her family life, she will 100% see this as being hurtful and selfish, and I know she'll cry. To make matters worse, the location of the proposal is a whopping 30 minutes from her parents' home. I don't want to get involved in a fight or reveal the surprise, but on the other hand, I feel I owe it to my lifelong friend to help her avoid being hurt and disappointed, maybe even helping her rethink what her future would look like with someone who just doesn't really appreciate what she values in life. So am I the a-hole if I tell my friend her boyfriend is going to propose?
Ooh. I mean, yeah, he sounds like an absolute... He is an a-hole.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to ruin the proposal or anything.
Yeah.
But, like, you can see how much she'd be heartbroken.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand how he could think that could possibly be okay to not have any of her family there. Like,
I don't understand that either. And also, I mean, here in Australia at least, like 30 minutes is not far at all. But I don't know where they're from, but like in the UK, I know that like 30 minutes to an hour
is a long
drive. They say is like a pretty long drive for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. Yeah. Like it's that gets me. I'm like, is that saying that like it's too far for her to go and see her parents after? Or like it's too far for them to travel there?
Maybe? That it's inconsiderate or something? I don't know.
But like... He's not included any of her friends or family.
That's just weird.
I find it weird that like he was so set on speaking to this person to be like, what does she want? Like, what kind of ring can I get her? What's her ring size? Blah, blah, blah.
To ignore it
and then like, I actually don't care what you have to say.
This is what I'm doing.
This is what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Like, I feel like usually if the guy gets the best friend involved, like the best friend's there.
Yeah.
And like celebrating with them. Yeah. Filming stuff or like.
But yeah, it's just one of those things because it's like also on the other end, you don't know how the friend will react if you ruin the proposal.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes when you're in those situations and you're dealing with two people, who's very much in love with someone, like they don't see things the way you see them. And it's like they sometimes on situations where to you, as the outsider can be like obviously like this is obvious, you know, this is so bad, like why are you putting up with this stuff? But in their position it's kind of like they can make compromises with stuff, I suppose, when they're the one who's in love with the other person, even when it's not right, and then they could backfire to you and then
you're the one that gets blamed, and then the lifelong friendship goes down the drain,
and you get blamed for everything. So I can see it's just one of those. Okay, let me hear the update.
Okay, so for starters, pretty much everyone said, don't tell her. If you tell her, you're the a-hole.
Yeah.
The top comment says, do not tell her. As much as you know her and want this proposal to go as planned, it's ultimately up to her boyfriend how he wants to do it. If your friend is disappointed, then that can be her sign to discuss it with her fiancé. So then we have the update. So it says, to everyone who told me to keep my mouth shut, thank you. So on Saturday, the day of the proposal, I got a call from her boyfriend. He was screaming at me, blaming me for not showing up, uninvited still, to the proposal with her parents because she was upset they weren't there. I was slack-jawed. So he's blaming this friend for not being there with her parents when they did not get invited.
Yeah.
Says, I told him I knew this would happen, and he says, verbatim, you just admitted you knew this would happen. So if you knew the whole time and you actually cared about her, you would have invited them. I was gobsmacked and hung up on him. Not even an hour later, I get a call from her asking me to come to her parents. According to her, this is how the situation played out. He popped the question, she said yes, and the people he invited popped out from hiding. She was bombarded by 4 of his guy friends, his mum, dad, older brother, and his sister-in-law. His parents were holding a sign that said, welcome to the family, Mrs. Insert his last name here. And this is where things go downhill. I did not know this before and I thought I knew everything, but my friend does not want to change her last name, and she's told him that repeatedly since they got together. She's an only child from a Ukrainian family, and with everything going on in Ukraine in the last year, she's doubled down. When she saw the sign, she joked, Mrs. his last name? I think you mean Mrs. her last name. Everyone went silent until his mum said, well, the ring is already engraved, no changing it now. She takes off the ring and sees that is engraved on the band. She then asked if her parents were coming, and he gave every excuse. He didn't have her number, their number. There were too many people there. He wanted to keep it private and eventually said, this was my proposal to you and now my family is your family. We can just send your parents the pictures later.
Oh.
She took the ring off and left. That's when I'm assuming I got that call from him. She went straight to her parents. She asked them about the engagement and they were clueless. She then asked if I knew anything. I asked if she was in the right place and she said she was. So I told her I would answer any question she had rather than just dumping everything on her. She was upset but thanked me. She was furious when I told her about the call from him earlier and said, does he really think I'm that shallow? She said it wasn't about having a perfect proposal or her parents there. It was about him making the whole thing about himself, as always, and she was done feeling ignored and belittled. So this was her breaking point. She's staying with her parents currently and has been receiving texts from him. The worst one so far is him telling her she has to pay him back for the ring and for ruining his life.
Oh.
Right now, all I can do is be here for her, and whatever decision she makes, I will fully support because, as you've all helped me realize, this isn't about me, it's about her.
Yeah. Good on her for leaving.
Yeah.
I guess that was like a good result that she then didn't end up telling her, and then now she can see him for his true colours.
Yeah, because like you said before, like when you're in love with someone, you are clouded by like the rose-coloured glasses, and having someone like point out all these things, sometimes you just don't see it from their perspective.
Yeah.
But you kind of need something
to happen. Yeah, because the other thing is like nothing had happened up until that point. Like, yes, there was like plans of stuff happening that was going to go down, but because nothing had actually gone through, like I feel like he could have really backtracked and like said, oh, no, I was planning to, and like exactly problem solved. No. Clearly. Yeah. So I feel like as unfortunate as it is, I think she was right for not telling her and then just letting it happen and go down, because now she's been able to step back and see his true colours. Yeah, exactly. And it's worked out, I guess. Yeah, pretty much the like last bit
the last edit of the update is no, she's not going back to him. It's over. Which, yeah, thankfully.
Slay. We love to hear it.
Slay. Yeah, it's just like another example. Like all of mine pretty much have just been the guy being a total like terrible person.
Yeah.
Like a walking red flag. And I think like him saying that she has to pay him back for the ring and for ruining his life. I'm like, sorry.
No.
But like, it's one of those things where you can kind of see, even though this like is a really terrible situation, you can see like if someone is really in love and they've got those like rose-colored glasses that like a few days away they might go back.
Yes.
But like I feel like that comment of saying like, you need to pay me back for ruining my life, just like really
nail in the coffin.
Nail in the coffin.
That's what they say.
100%.
So, oh gosh.
Absolutely awful people, some of these.
This was fun for us.
It was fun for us. Yeah.
I can't believe people like this exist.
I know.
Like, what? It actually makes me feel very fortunate that I don't know anyone like this.
Yeah, 100%. I still can't get over the fake proposal.
I know. It's
that
just
one
so
just
cruel.
kills me.
I know.
Like, yeah, the level of immaturity is ridiculous.
I know.
Well, that brings us to the end of this episode. So thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Save the Date podcast. We hope you learned something new, maybe not in this one. But if you're currently planning your wedding, congratulations, good luck, and have fun.
And if you're going through something, post it on Reddit. You will get your answer. The masses will speak. Yeah. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you follow, subscribe, and leave us a review wherever it is you're listening.
Make sure you come and connect with us on our socials at the Save the Date podcast and join our Facebook group, the Save the Date community. We also would love to hear any of your stories, horror stories, fun, beautiful proposals that were magical, ones that weren't so great. If you have a story that you're trying to figure out if you are in the wrong or in the right, definitely send it through to us either on Instagram DMs, or I will have our email in the show notes as well. But we hope you have a wonderful day or night, and we'll be back with another episode next week. Bye.
Bye.